Hello, my dear friends. Dr. Harold Benson with you, a physician with over 30 years of experience treating patients over 60. Today I want to talk about the simplest and seemingly most obvious element of our lives. It costs nothing, it's always with us, yet it's precisely what the elderly body most often lacks. I'm talking, of course, about water. We can live for weeks without food, but only a few days without water. Yet most people over 60 underestimate its importance. I often hear patients say, "Doctor, why should I drink so much water? I don't feel thirsty." But this is precisely the mistake that costs the health of the heart, kidneys, and even the brain. Let me give you an example. A few months ago, Mr. Richard, 74, came to see me. He complained of constant headaches, weakness, and constipation. "I'm taking medication, but nothing helps," he said. When I asked how much water he drank, he replied, "Well, a couple of cups of tea a day and a glass of soup in the evening." In other words, he was essentially living in a state of chronic dehydration. His blood tests showed thickened blood, which increased the risk of blood clots, as well as kidney problems. Now here's another story. Mrs. Margaret, 68, on the other hand, always carries a bottle of water with her. She says, "Doctor, I realize that if I drink water regularly, I can think more easily, I don't tire as quickly, and my blood pressure has become more stable." Her tests indeed confirmed excellent kidney and vascular health, despite her age. Two stories, two approaches, and two completely different results. What's the reason? The fact is that with age, the sense of thirst diminishes. What a young person immediately experiences as dry mouth, an older person might not even notice. As a result, the body slowly but surely loses moisture, and this affects every organ. The heart works harder, the blood becomes thicker, joints are less lubricated, the skin loses elasticity, and the brain loses clarity. And here's the main question. How much water does a person need after 60 years? How to drink it correctly? And what mistakes do older people most often make? We'll talk about all of this in detail today. I'll tell you, why is dehydration dangerous after 60? How to know if you're drinking too little? How much water do you need per day? And how to distribute it correctly? Which drinks can be considered water, and which, on the contrary, dehydrate? And most importantly, how to make the habit of drinking water easy and enjoyable. Stay with me until the end, and you'll learn how something as simple as drinking water properly can literally extend your life and give you energy you've forgotten you had. Before we get into specific numbers and recommendations, let's look at why water is so important for the body of people over 60. Our body is approximately 60% water. It plays a role in all processes, from brain and heart function to joint movement. But with age, this situation changes. The amount of fluid in the tissues decreases. Metabolism slows down. The feeling of thirst weakens. The kidneys work less efficiently, and the body has a harder time maintaining water and salt balance. That is, while a young person can forgive himself for a day when he drank less than usual, for an older person this can end in problems: dizziness, blood pressure surges, or even heart problems. Many of my patients believe dehydration only happens when you're dying of thirst in the desert, but in reality it's much more insidious. In older people, the symptoms can be very mild: constant fatigue, headaches, dry skin and lips, constipation, frequent cramps, fog in the head, forgetfulness, dark urine or infrequent urine excretion. Very often, patients come to me complaining of blood pressure or poor sleep, but it turns out the problem is simply a lack of water. There's a simple rule. The average person needs 30 milliliters of water per kilogram of body weight. For an elderly person weighing 70 kg, that's about 2 liters. But there's a catch. With age, the kidneys become less able to cope with the strain, so don't drink these 2 liters in one sitting or in a couple of large glasses. The water should be consumed gradually throughout the day. The optimal regimen is 150 to 200 milliliters every 1.5 to 2 hours. This is approximately 1 glass. This approach helps maintain balance and avoid overloading the heart and kidneys. There are a lot of myths here too. Many people think, I drink tea and soup, so that means I have enough water. But that's not entirely true. Things to consider: clean water, herbal teas without sugar, still mineral water, subject to doctor's approval, compotes without sugar. What doesn't count? Coffee. It has a diuretic effect and removes water. Sweet soda, alcohol, store-bought juices with sugar. I'd especially like to highlight coffee. Many older people enjoy drinking 3 to 4 cups a day. This not only interferes with calcium and magnesium absorption, but also contributes to dehydration. In older people, thick blood poses a real risk of strokes and heart attacks. Water thins the blood, improves its flow, and makes the heart's work easier. I always cite the example of Mr. Richard, whom I mentioned in the introduction. When he started drinking a glass of water every 2 hours, his headaches practically disappeared, his blood pressure became more stable, and his blood tests showed improved blood quality. Have you ever noticed that drinking a glass of water makes your thoughts clearer? It's not an illusion. The brain is 75% water. Even mild dehydration of 2% leads to decreased concentration and memory. For an older person, this can mean forgetfulness, confusion, and irritability. One of my patients, Mr. Howard, 70, complained of forgetting where he put his keys and glasses. We started with a simple step keeping track of his water. A month later, he said with a smile, "Doctor, I'm certainly not a genius, but I'm finding it easier to remember little things, and my mood has improved." Another common complaint after age 60 is knee pain and joint stiffness. Many people seek miracle cures, but they forget that synovial fluid is also made up of water. Without enough of it, joints rub against each other more intensely, accelerating wear and tear. Regular water consumption improves joint lubrication, reduces pain, and helps you move more easily. Mistakes older people make. I don't want to drink in the evening so I don't have to get up at night. Yes, nighttime trips to the bathroom are a problem, but the solution isn't to not drink, but to distribute water wisely. More during the day, less in the evening. Soup and tea are enough for me. No, I need pure water, without additives. If I don't feel thirsty, then I don't need to drink. People over 60 experience a decrease in thirst. You need to drink according to a schedule, not just based on how you feel. I replace water with juices or soda. This is a direct path to excess sugar, excess weight, and even more dehydration. How to train yourself to drink water. Place a bottle of water in a visible place. Start your day with a glass of warm water. Use reminders on your phone. Add a slice of lemon or cucumber for flavor. Drink from a beautiful glass or mug. Psychology works. Friends, today we've explored a very simple, yet crucial secret to health after 60 water. It seems like nothing could be simpler, but therein lies the problem. We often underestimate the simple things. I want you to remember the main thing. Water isn't just a liquid to quench your thirst. It's your most accessible and reliable helper for your heart, kidneys, joints, and brain. Lack of water does not manifest itself immediately, but gradually destroys health. Thick blood, weakness, constipation, headaches, forgetfulness. Drinking too much at once is also a mistake. It is important to drink evenly, in small portions. Don't rely on your thirst. It can be deceiving as you age. Drink according to a schedule. Remember the stories I told you. Mr. Richards suffered from headaches and fatigue for a long time until he started drinking water regularly. His health changed within just a few weeks, and Mrs. Margaret developed a simple habit, always keeping a bottle of water with her, and now she feels lighter, more energetic, and her blood pressure is stable. You too can be the hero of your own story. Start today. Drink a glass of water in the morning as soon as you wake up. Set reminders every 2 hours. Try to drink 1.5 to 2 liters a day. This is the amount needed by most people over 60. You'll be surprised how much lighter your body will feel. Constant fatigue will disappear. Your memory will improve. Your joints will become more flexible, and your skin will be fresh and elastic. Believe me, health doesn't always require complex medications or expensive procedures. Sometimes it starts with a simple glass of water. I want you to give yourself the gift of living a long, active life, maintaining a clear mind and a strong body. And water can be your faithful ally on this journey. If you liked this video, please support the channel with a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And in the comments, let us know how much water you drink per day. Let's share experiences and help each other become healthier. This was Dr. Harold Benson. Take care of yourself, and remember, your health is in your hands, and sometimes in your glass.